Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Atlanta Sports Special. Sorry about the break last week. There are some personal matters that Kenny had to attend to. However, today we have a very informationally packed episode. There has been so many things, good and very, very bad, happening to Atlanta sports teams, and we are going to go deeper into those topics. This episode, we had to record separately due to some scheduling issues. So the first half will be me, the second half will be Kenny. But again, thank you guys so much for listening, and let's get it.
Yeah, ATL on the rise, you know how we do. Beach tree dreams, dirty birds flying through. From the gridiron to the diamond, courts to the pitch. We reppin' ATL sports, every team, every niche. ATL, where the flames ignite. From Truist Park to the bins at night. Dreams take flight, hearts soar high. United we stand, reaching for the sky.
Hello, everybody. Happy hump day. Happy Wednesday. I hope everyone's getting through the week. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. Welcome to This Day in the A, February 11th, 1970. The Atlanta Hawks set the NBA record for the most points in a single half with 97 points in the second half in a win of 155 to 131 against the San Diego Rockets. Man, that must have been an electric game to go to. Probably not on TV, I'd imagine, but I can imagine it was a lot of fun to see that many points getting scored just in a single half. Get the boys going. There's a lot of travesty going on in Atlanta right now. So let me start off with something a little bit positive. We're going to go hop right into the Falcons here. The Falcons have, since we didn't do an episode last week, there's some bit of news. Ian Cunningham has been selected as our new general manager, formerly with his tenure at the Bears for the past 2 years, which is actually pretty massive considering when you look at everything that the Bears have done in the past couple years, going from the 2024 season with Caleb Williams as a rookie to having a losing season to seeing them now be a contender in the playoffs. I mean, just seeing little stuff like that kind of gives you the hope that we made the right decision, general manager wise, that he knows how to take a franchise much like ours that is just not doing well, not living up to its potential, and absolutely disappointing its fan base, and turning that around hopefully into something the city can be proud of and the city can expect, and what we have been expecting in general. That being said, I'm going to go ahead and just get into what a lot of people are probably talking about on the internet right now regarding the Falcons, and that is the charges on Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon in South Florida regarding James Pierce. The information, first things first, bad looks. Absolutely bad looks with somebody videotaping him being taken down by 7 cops. That being said, though, watching, your edge rusher get taken down and have to be taken down by 7 cops was extremely impressive. I mean, there's a reason that guy was a candidate for Defensive Rookie of the Year. Look what that, I mean, if you go, we're not going to show the video because, it is a bad moment in bad publicity and everything like that. But however, a good way to spin it is that it is pretty impressive stuff. He's an NFL player for a reason. So what we know now is that he has been bailed out. He got bailed out on Sunday, possibly Saturday afternoon, whenever that video was. And he is back in Atlanta. He has been assigned legal counsel. He is getting everything done for the time being. So that being said, we know right now that his charges are aggravated battery with a deadly weapon, 2 counts, aggravated stalking, fleeing and eluding police with lights and sirens, aggravated battery on law enforcement officer, and resisting an officer without violence in his person. Again, 7 cops to take this guy down. That's somebody you might want on your team. However, these charges, they're a lot worse on paper than they really seem, in my opinion, right? I'm not a legal counsel. I'm also, trying to spin this in a positive way because I'm a Falcons fan, and he was one of the best assets of our 2025 season. So let me go ahead and point this out. The aggravated battery on a law officer. He was trying to flee the scene with his car, and he tapped the officer on his knee. Nothing crazy. He didn't purposefully try to run over the officer. All these people on Twitter, all these people on social media are, doing this, doing that, talking, they're spinning it out of control as the internet does. What I think personally, the assault with a deadly weapon, from my understanding, he didn't have an actual firearm on him. It was they're giving him assault of a deadly weapon because he rammed his car into his ex-girlfriend. It all started from a domestic dispute with him and a significant other at the time, and he lost control. It was a crime of passion. He clearly was going through some other mental things. However, it is absolutely egregious that this happens not even 24 hours after he was being honored as almost the rookie of the year. And so that's bad looks for Atlanta. Needless to say, he's a young guy. He had a lot of emotions. He made a mistake. The charges against him are a lot. I mean, they're nothing to shy away from, sure, but guys, let's be honest. There's so many other football players in the league that have done way worse than this, that were more intentional in their actions and way more intentional in the crimes that they've committed, and we've seen them get scot-free. I mean, I'm not going to name anybody, but, that quarterback that went to the Browns, 28 counts, 28 accusations, and we just swept that under the rug? I mean, okay, we're just going to talk about, I don't know, a certain wide receiver that is currently on the Dolphins roster. He domestic violence as well, also harming his child. I'm just saying that the main charge here is that he was resisting arrest and that there was an officer harmed in this whole thing. And that's what really makes this worse. And it's one of the funny things about this whole thing is that you go on the internet and you're seeing oh, the Falcons, how could they support this criminal? How could anybody think this is okay and everything like that? And it's, oh, how could you even justify what he did? How could you even look at this and think that he's not going to go to jail for a certain amount of time, that he's not doing this and that? All those profiles that I've seen that are oh, this guy needs to be locked up forever. Bucks, Saints, Panthers fans. All of them. You guys disgust me. You guys want our downfall so bad because we're building something great here. That being said, my hot take on this whole situation is that, whether you think he deserves jail time or doesn't deserve jail time, I personally don't think that this is going to be something for jail time. I think due to, how the NFL works and how things get run, money's going to be thrown. Certain charges are going to get dropped down a significant amount. Certain people get paid out. That's kind of how this thing works. That's how we've seen everything work in history when regarding any sports player get in some sort of legal trouble. And another, we've seen the whole, you want to, this isn't as bad, in my opinion, as the Rashee Rice thing. He put so many lives at danger. He just had people in the car with him to, I don't know, put the blame on and say, oh, that wasn't mine. That wasn't mine. He was clearly driving, potentially could have killed multiple people and their families that were on the highway. This is, it's a crazy take, but, this is a crime of passion at the end of the day. This man was in love. He went overboard with his emotions. He needs anger management at minimum. As for a non-legal standpoint and NFL, a lot of people think he might never even play again. The NFL could never allow this guy to come back. Guys, Ray Lewis came back. Again, he had people taking the fall. Technically, Ray Rice came back, which is, let's not even go there. Adrian Peterson was a superstar, and everything got swept under the rug. I mean, there's so many players you could just name that are just, oh, this, and this. At the end of the day, the NFL needs views. And this guy was one of the few people, him, Bijan, Drake, like some of the few people that got people watching the Falcons. So that being said, I think we're talking half a season suspension, maybe one full season at most. It's just my opinion. Just like, I'm being very facetious. I'm just thinking like how I've seen other players get charged with other criminal acts. So that being said, and there is like, again, it's too early to really see. There's no real sides of the story other than, anything that his girlfriend has came out and said, or that the media has tried to twist and spin things and all that. And, then people on the internet start talking. There's two sides of every story. So at the end of the day, I need to be able to really get all the information to really form an opinion. But I'm just giving you my hot take, my realistic thinking of all this at the time. So, it's dark. It's not looking great right now for the Falcons, because now we also have almost a definite answer on the quarterback situation, that Kirk Cousins is most likely going to be off our roster in free agency. Not sure where he might go. I'd like to thank him for what he's done for the city. I mean, those, that Kirktober in 2024 was so much fun. It was one of the most electric times in Falcons history in a long, long time. So, thanks for the good memories there. He still owns the Bucks. That's awesome to see. The only issue now we have the quarterback talk, and Michael Penix is clearly not going to be good to go at the beginning of the season. That's just facts. We are not really sure where that is going to go or what his timeline's looking. According to him, he says his knees, his ACL, he's ahead of schedule on recovery. So that being said, it's like, maybe he does come back halfway through the season, but again, he is reconstructed his knees multiple times at this point. What does that even look like? How well is he going to? He's not going to be running the ball clearly as much anymore. He has a lot of potential. He's still, I haven't given up on him yet. However, we're going to need a filler. And with the current free agents in the the free agency for 2026, a lot of spark has come from one person because of one game he had as the backup quarterback for Jordan Love. You guys might know Malik Willis. The amount of people I've spoken to about this is that everyone's like, Malik Willis. Like, we need to go out and get him. He's a great filler quarterback. I mean, yeah, potentially, sure. But we don't even know what like Matt LaFleur is the quarterback, expert guru. So what is that even? What does Malik Willis look like with Stefanski? And our new offensive coordinator, there's a lot of ifs there. Personally, if we're talking QBs to go out and get for the low, I want Jameis Winston. Bring Winston to Atlanta. He would love the culture here. He would have too much fun in Atlanta. He would love the culture here. The people would embrace him with open arms. He's just a good locker room guy, a good mentor, and he is just so much fun to watch. Listen, next season, I'm already pessimistic because we don't know our quarterback situation. We don't know our edge rushing situation now. We're gonna lose games, but we can lose games and still win the NFC South. And I think one of our best bets to do that is, even if we're losing games, we are having fun with Jameis Winston. We are having a good time with that guy. It is so electric to watch him on the field. pregame interviews, postgame interviews. He's just all around a fun person to watch. He's just entertaining. There's just nothing, no doubt about that. So why not go pay him, the bare minimum, the veteran minimum at this point, get him on the roster, entertain the city, at least give us, he's going to be throwing us. Him and Drake London. I mean, Drake London could score at least 2 touchdowns every single game. How many interceptions would he have? I don't know. That's 2 to 3 each game too. But with a defense like we have, I mean, he just hasn't been having a defense that can help him out. And of course, he had that stint on the Browns where he looked halfway decent, but their best wide receiver at the time was Jerry Jeudy. And Jerry Jeudy, I mean, is like, I consider him a great wide receiver. He just hasn't really shown that on the field. So Malik Willis, at the end of the day, sure. I mean, there's other people that are also free agencies. We can get Joe Flacco, experienced, proven Super Bowl champ. And, he had some great looks this year. So I don't think, as a bridge quarterback, I don't think that would be the worst decision. He almost helped the Bengals have a bounce back in their season. It would have been kind of incredible. Daniel Jones, technically also a free agent despite the Achilles tear. I don't want that. It's just Kirk Cousins 2.0 with half the skill. We're not doing that. No, that's just not even an option at this point. Tyrod Taylor from the Jets. No, please, God, no. Zach Wilson. I'm not even going to entertain that conversation. And speaking of not entertaining that conversation, Marcus Mariota. We're not right. Marcus Mariota finds his way on our roster. I'm going to burn every single jersey I have. We've been there, done that. That experiment's over. Arthur Smith set us back, I don't know, another 10 years. We're prehistoric times now with that entire experiment. And it seems like we're finally getting somewhere and looking good. And again, things just keep falling apart. We can't look good without something bad happening. So I don't know. I can sit here and rant about the Falcons and keep going on everything that's happening, but there's not a lot of news out yet. We don't know what's happening to we don't know what our quarterback situation is. We don't know what's going on with, what's to come of the James Pierce Jr. incident. And all we got positive is that Ian Cunningham could be the guy, and him and Matt Ryan are looking to do great things together. So in that standpoint, I'm going to go ahead and since Kenny was not able to get on his first call, I'm going to swipe it over to him and have him cover the rest of the sports because I got a dentist appointment. Thank you guys so much.
What is going on, everybody? Feels like an eternity since I've been on the microphone. I appreciate everybody who's reached out asking when the pod's going to drop. Unfortunately, having sick kids and a 9 to 5 does not always coincide with great timing on these pod releases. So thank you, everybody who asked. We're excited to be back. Sorry, we have the Colin Couchard model today where we're just kind of talking at you individually. Not our favorite either. But we have a lot of details we want to get over and a lot of news to talk through. We're going to start out a little doomy and gloomy today. We're going to talk about the Braves. The Braves are still the best thing the city has to offer. This season, 2026, you feel like there's a window that might be closing with some of the young talent we have. And it's absolutely an opportunity for the Braves to go play for and potentially win a World Series still. So there's a lot of excitement. What doesn't get me excited is some of the news I've woken up to over the past couple of weeks. And that's what we're going to talk about first. The Braves pitching and catching reported 2 days ago to spring training. Okay, since that has happened, we now have Switzer Schwellenbach on a 60-day IL. That's just the start of the season. So won't see him till May at best, due to having to get some surgery due to elbow inflammation and some bone spurs. I didn't go to school to become a doctor, understand this kind of stuff, but what does that even mean? How is this not something we knew about for the past 4 months? Bone spurs don't sound like something that pops up overnight. Maybe I'm an idiot. Maybe bone spurs do pop up overnight. Never had one. Never been on a 60-day injured list for one. Spencer Schwellenbach, on the other hand, 60-day IL. Let's continue down this rabbit hole of disasters to start the season. Sean Murphy, who's obviously coming off a hip injury, is, quote, working his way back and has no firm timetable to return yet. I mean, I don't even want to get into it with Sean because this guy's been an absolute negative, to be totally honest with you, except for his first season when he came in here. It's been injury after injury after injury to start the season, middle of the season, late in the season. Thank God for Drake Baldwin, rookie of the year. Really excited that we have somebody who can actually day after day come play the plate. And the Braves did make some acquisitions we'll talk about to get us a little bit of depth there on a 1-year contract. We've talked about Ha-Seong Kim. There is the old wives' tale / nursery rhyme that says you step on a crack, you break Ha-Seong Kim's back. That's not actually the rhyme, but the truth is, like, it's kind of what it feels like. I don't know how this guy fell on ice and broke whatever in his hand, but he is out 4 to 5 months. He's the only big signing, really. He's our big signing of the offseason. Basically dead for 6 months. Wish him the best. Tough to hear. And then here's the icing on the cake. This morning, it's February 11th. It's a Wednesday. I get an awesome notification this morning. Actually, I got it from a friend of mine. Shout out Connor Lanine and Doug Thompson, who reached out to me and said, "Did you see this?" Yes, in fact, I did see it. Joe Jimenez is getting to go hang out with Schwelly on the 60 AL due to an ongoing left knee issue and is likely to be ready. Is likely to be ready at the very start of the season. Doubt it. In 2024, Joe Jimenez also had knee issues and had to have surgery. Another guy we paid, $26 million to. AA. What are we supposed to think about this as fans? Your big acquisition goes to Korea, falls, breaks his hand. We got infield gaps again. It looks like, thank goodness, we got Jonah Heim, who's going to be able to at least, someone's going to be there to catch balls behind home plate when Drake Baldwin's out. But overall, that's a pretty big tragedy from the pitching perspective. And then obviously infield, more bang jobs. It's brutal. We re-signed Walt Weiss because of all this. So, I'm sorry, not Walt Weiss. That's hilarious. I said that. Walt Weiss has expressed his confidence in our team after we did make an addition of, golly, what is the guy's name? We made an addition. He's an infielder. We picked him up because of the gaps that we have and obviously having people on the IL. It's really more, it looks like it's a spring ball signing, see what he's got, and let's get after it. Golly, it's just tough. I mean, especially because spring, it feels like a long time to get baseball. At the end of March 27th, pretty exciting. It's not. We have our first game in 10 days against the Rays. In that time period, we don't have a lot of time to get guys healthy, like through this time period. And these are big gaps we're talking about here. What's going to come out all this? I don't know. I still think like there is depth to these positions. Like we got Dubon. It looks like right now, speaking of that, like if the Braves walked into the season today, it looks like we're just going to have the same core with Ozzy as he's kind of babying still. Ozzy, Austin Riley, Matt Olson, Dubon. The rotation is going to be interesting because obviously it's going to be Sale, Strider. I'm trying to think like without Schwelly, somebody's going to have to step up. And I would imagine that person is most likely to be someone. I don't think we're going to make a big addition. Is kind of what I'm thinking here. Like, it doesn't seem like AA is interested in spending money because he hates spending money, even though he said he would. It's a tough one. We're in a tough spot. That being said, like all the guys who are back and healthy, like it's great to see Ozzy. It's great to hear about all these other pieces we have. But yeah, I think we're really gonna have to look to get some help from Grant Holmes, Bryce Elder. Like those are the two who eventually are gonna have to step up because I don't think we're getting anybody in. If we did, Chris Bassett's the obvious guy. Don't think we're gonna spend the money. Really wish we would. Would love to spend the money. Don't think we will. Talking Braves, that's pretty much it right now. We're just injury plagued, man. It seems like this is every season when we have high hopes too. We'll see how it goes. That's it. All right, now let's talk about something that's a little bit more good when it comes to roster alignment, which is the Hawks. Obviously, the Hawks are sitting on the fringe of a playoff play-in spot right now. They're sub 500 by 2 games. I was really down on this team based on what I was hoping the season would look like. We'll get Connor Beecham back out here and talk about that at the All-Star break. But one of the biggest pieces that has brought me a lot of hope is that the Hawks front office was clearly thinking, we were. Let's offload this guy, Porzingis, who's played 8 games. And I don't know why we thought paying this dude $46 million, or we paid him at the beginning of the year, was smart. I feel like there had to be some lies or falsity about his condition, because we've got nothing out of him. So super disappointing. Kristaps, thanks for your time. See ya. Pretty much like everywhere else he's been. Thanks. You didn't do anything we thought you would. See ya. But we do get the true star of Oklahoma in that trade. I'm really not trying to throw Trey hate, because I actually like Trey. But we got Buddy Hield, who was Trey Young before Trey Young. He was the one jacking threes, making tournament madness, being the man. We obviously know Buddy Hield is a small piece right now. Obviously, his career has been up and down. But we got Buddy Hield, and we got Jonathan Kuminga, who's a young guy who's going to be exciting to see if we can kind of retool into the system. Who I'm really excited about, though, that was not a part of this trade. But we did reacquire Jock Landale. And when I turned on the game, didn't know much about Jock's game, candidly. Now I know. Now I know what he's about. Because Jock stepped in, scored 26 and 11, 5 assists and 4 blocks in our 121-119 win. And I got to tell you, man, I didn't know that he was about it like that. But he is. And we have a guy who's not afraid to go get rebounds, who can help Big O, who's got his face busted up, but is back. Man, it's what we've all been calling for. It's like, where's the rim protection? When the Hawks are giving up 140 points a night, it's like, man, maybe we should make them think twice about just driving the lane for layups every time. I think what we have now with Big O and Jock really helps the center. And then obviously Jock, just like Big O, can extend it. I think he had 4 threes in that 26-point performance, which was his career high. So it's going to be interesting to see as we come up on the All-Star break, what does the team mesh look like, right? We've gotten rid of Trey. We've brought in CJ McCollum. He's done a great job with the second team. We now have Jock, who can help out from the center position and extend, as well as Big O. So now when Big O's out, we're not limited from what we can do from rim protection and interior defense. Great. We're not going to get bullied now by teams like the Rockets, who used to just own us in the middle. That's awesome. But we still got to look at like what's going on here. In the past 5 games, we're still 2-3. Dropped 2 back-to-back to the Timberwolves and the Hornets, which the Hornets, that game, that starting 5 is unreal. I think they're 9-1 when they start all 5 of those players who played against us with LaMelo in them. And they played like it. So that's not like you see Charlotte Hornets L, you're usually like, man, this is terrible. Don't hang your hat. Or don't hang your head because you lost to the best lineup in basketball right now statistically. Go on and get that win against the Utah Jazz, which was huge. Went over the Heat and then lost to the Pacers, which is super unfortunate since the Hawks just could not play defense again. I mean, giving up 130 points to the Indiana Pacers is tough, but we're in a position where we're still right in the mix. If we can have a good second half of the season, which I think we're primed to, as long as the chemistry gets there, and it looks like it's on that way. Biggest takeaways so far, like we're scoring on average right around to over 120 points a game, which is fantastic. We're also giving up 126 in the past 3 games. You do the math. Score 120, give up 126, losing numbers. But right now, sitting 26, 29, 9th in the conference. We're in the mix. Like unfortunately, we're still in the mix. And then the biggest thing for Hater Watch, which we're always on, is that the Pelicans started winning basketball games, and I'm pissed. Right now, if the season ended, we'd have the 4th. It'd be the 4th. Obviously, it's a lottery pick, but like the 4th highest odds to win the lottery. So need them to start skidding fast, which I'm sure they're capable of. New Orleans, can't stand them. That's it. That's Braves. That's Hawks. That's where we're at. We have a lot of high. Look, the Braves season hasn't started yet. Maybe I shouldn't be so pessimistic. But it seems like we have the training department that's associated with the Miami Dolphins. I don't know why these guys keep getting injured, but it is excruciatingly frustrating. And it seems like every season we got guys who come in. It's like they haven't thrown a baseball in 6 months. They throw one time and their elbow explodes. Or they rip their oblique in half because they haven't swung a baseball bat, which I know is not the case. But why does it freaking feel like that for this team? At some point, we're going to start a season where we maybe have one nagging injury, like, he's got a strained hamstring from ripping a ball 468 out of the park, Sean Murphy. I can live with that. But, like, we're having to surgically repair an oblique or a hand or an elbow. I mean, it's just like, as a fan, it gets brutal. And let's also humanize this. It's brutal for these guys. I don't think there's a single player who loves playing this game, which they all have to make it to this level, because it's not good enough just to be good. You got to love it. I don't think any of them wants to be sidelined with injuries. Obviously, it stinks. And then having to rehab, and then having to go AAA to just rehab games so you can come back and start. It affects chemistry. It affects your confidence. It's miserable for them as well. So when I'm getting frustrated here, I'll tell you what I'm getting frustrated with. Ha-Seong Kim, I'm frustrated with you. I don't know what you're doing on ice. That's you. Can't help that. Like, if you have bone spurs, I don't know. That doesn't sound like something that can be helped. We'll give Schwelle the benefit of the doubt. If you are falling on ice, what are you doing on ice? The ones that the players, the things they can't control, the active injuries that happen from coming back from injuries, can you look into that? Like, can we dump some money into the training staff? Get a little HGH on the Wheaties for the boys? I'm not saying we need to bring steroids back to baseball, but guys are hitting 500-yard or 500-foot bombs, and I never heard about Barry Bonds tearing his oblique. Pretty sure they got bigger every season. Just think about it. Something to talk about. Should we bring steroids back to baseball? That could be the tagline for the show. Anyway, listen, I really appreciate it. I don't know if Kramer's going to put this on at the beginning or the end of the show, so I'm going to say his incredible line that if you flew here or you grew here, doesn't matter. We appreciate you listening. We hope you have a good one. Shop on and believe, baby. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Kenny, for those updates. And I just wanted to go ahead and sign us off here with whether you flew here or you grew here. We appreciate you guys listening to another episode of the Atlanta Sports Special.